Do that. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today,
Okay, let's start again. I was looking around awkwardly.
why?
I was looking around awkwardly. I'm so sorry.
I've been around a time or two, and I know a lot of boys like you.
Let's go and never look back. You're giving me a
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm with my friend Bobette.
Hey everyone.
B-O-B-E.
Double T-E.
That's how you spell it, in case you're wondering. But I'm gonna leave her Instagram tings at the bottom. Me and Bobette have been friends for 6 years now, and I don't remember how we met.
It was just a church. That's all I know. Is
I think we're doing plays.
Nah, I think we
Wasn't
met
it
before
through a
that.
play?
We were in a play together.
Did you do plays?
I did, but I don't remember you doing a play.
Never mind.
We met at church. That's all we can confirm.
Yeah, we met at church, and we've been friends since then.
Yeah,
and it's been a vibe. And I did say that I'm gonna bring my friends to come and talk with me with the topics and stuff like that. So I managed to bring her as the first one. And yeah, today we're gonna be talking about colorism.
yeah.
As you can see, we are the product of
We are the definition.
of color. We are girls of color.
Yes.
It's something that we've always spoken about.
Yeah,
I think.
we've always been very opinionated about it, especially because we're on the opposite spectrum, so we talk about our experiences
all the time. Yeah, so we've always just been saying like, yo, how it feels and how the things that we don't like, the things that we see on social media, the things that people around us say,
the way people act.
exactly. So I think that it would be very silly of us to not acknowledge that we're different. Like, yes, we're both black, but we're different and we experience life differently because of our complexions. So we just thought that it would be a good idea for us to come out here and just like share what we feel, what we have experienced.
We also just want to add in that these are our experiences.
Yes.
Not every dark-skinned and light-skinned black person out there will experience what we experience. So this is just our personal experience that we're sharing with you guys. Some of you might relate, some of you might not, but
yeah. So we're not saying that it happens to everyone. We're just sharing what we go through, and yeah. Okay, so in terms of background, I have 4 siblings. I've got 2 sisters and 2 brothers, and I'm the lightest one amongst my siblings. I took that from my mom. And they're not like very dark, but they're darker than I am. So I would say that I'm the lightest one. And I have like experienced colorism in my family, but not necessarily from like my parents or my siblings. It was always like cousins and family friends, you know, like they would make comments, because I have a younger sister. She's like 1 year younger than me. And we grew up like twins, like we were just like the same person. But then we'd have people make comments on our complexions and make it very obvious that we're different in terms of our complexions, basically. So that's when I started to, because we grew up thinking that we're the same, like, but then the minute that people started to say that we're different and treat us differently, that's when we started to see the difference in ourselves. And it wasn't cute at all, like, not cute. What about you, Bobette?
So my experiences, or my whole family, were all just my complexion. Maybe like my mom is maybe like slightly lighter, or my complexion or darker. So I didn't really experience colorism at home. It wasn't that much of a thing. It was more at school, and not really primary school. I went to basically an all-white school. So in primary school wasn't really a thing. Colorism wasn't really a thing.
So it was more of a race thing.
But it wasn't like out there race. But I mean, that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
It was in high school when I finally started to accept, okay, cool, you know what, there's nothing wrong with being black, I'm fine being black, it's all good. And then now it was a thing of, oh no, but you're dark-skinned black, so you're cool being black, but you're just a little too black for us. So it's not funny, but I mean, we laughed. Like, we laugh about it now, because it's like, you know what, we're grown.
Yeah.
You laugh.
And we're over it, like, we don't care like that. So.
You laugh to hide the tears.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just one of those. When I got to high school, then I started to realize, okay, cool, they treat light-skinned black people and dark-skinned black people differently. And then also when I got to varsity, then I was like, okay, wait, there's a real difference.
yeah.
And then obviously,
And you feel it, hey, like you feel that, okay, I'm light skin or I'm dark skin, but I'd say more on the dark skin side, because with light skins you're more on the privileged side, so you wouldn't say that you feel it. Like in primary school I had there was a guy in my class that always called me yellow. I don't know for what, but it didn't affect me. Like, it wasn't a thing where I felt like I'm not pretty or I felt insecure because of that. It was like, he's calling me yellow because I'm light skinned, so that's fine. But if it was a dark skinned person,
they wouldn't give you they would call you something to make you feel dirty.
yes,
Like, you need to go in bath.
Yeah,
Why
it wouldn't be something cute. It would make you feel insecure. So I would say that I obviously have been on the privileged side, but in terms of, like I said, with family, I didn't really like it because I wanted my sister to feel just as beautiful as I am. I wanted her to feel just as special as I was. So I didn't like the fact that I was put on a pedestal and she was, like, people would deliberately say stuff like, there was this cousin that we had and she used to call me Nontle, which means pretty, and she used to call her Nombi, which means ugly. And we didn't necessarily understand it at that time. It was like, ha ha ha. But when I think about it now, like, that was disgusting. She shouldn't have done that. She shouldn't have said that. So it's very disappointing when it comes from family. I even remember with my mom, I feel like she wouldn't do it directly, but she would. Remember when your dad used to say that in winter I wear clothes that are like summer, and then in summer I wear clothes that are covered. He said that before, and that was because I was always trying to preserve my complexion, because my mom would be like, oh my gosh, you're so dark now, the sun is burning you, whatever. So it was like I had to maintain this because without it I wouldn't be as pretty.
Oh yeah. I think that's actually like another thing that so many people are afraid to get sunburned, because it's like, whoo, now you're dark.
Yeah,
Don't
now
get
you're dark,
sunburned,
and
now
dark
you're
is not
dark.
cute. So you're always trying to preserve and make sure that even if you're dark skinned, but
I think
don't
get
burn.
darker. Like,
Don't get darker than you are.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
that's something I can say, like, I experienced when, and it'd be like little things, like, so I'm this complexion, but then when I'd go to Zim to visit my mom's family, like, it's so much hotter there.
Definitely.
So like, you burn differently to the way you burn here.
Yeah.
So when you
It's
come
like
back,
being in Limpopo.
exactly, it's basically like Limpopo sun.
Yeah.
So when you come back, you're obviously a couple shades darker.
Yeah.
And people just look at you and they're like, why are you so dark? Even though you're naturally dark, they're like, okay, before you were dark, but it was acceptable. It was okay. But now this
You're
is just
worse.
too much. I think I'd remember, like, in primary school or like middle high school, like, something would happen and they'd be like, yo, you're so dark, all we can see is your teeth and your eyes, ha ha ha, and you just laugh it off.
Yeah.
Because you're like, ha ha ha, I don't want to be that sensitive kid, but deep down you're like,
it sticks with you.
you're
Like,
like, yo,
it really
okay.
does. And how you move forward in terms of your confidence, in terms of how the friends that you keep around you, it could affect you like a lot. I think that even with friendships, like I was mentioning now, you would want to be have you ever experienced that, where you felt like you want to be friends with people of the same complexion as you, so that you don't have to
so that you don't stick out.
yeah, so that you don't
that you
stick out, so that
blend
you don't
in.
so that we're all facing the same problems, we're all the same, so we can't have someone that is more special or someone that is better in the friend group. And I think it would make sense if people actually felt like that.
Or they'd look for people who are darker than them or worse
yes,
than them, to
so
make
that you can
themselves
be
feel like
better.
the prettier person.
Yeah, so that you can.
Yeah.
I actually know of someone that does that, like, that chooses their friends
Based on what
according
they look
to
like.
exactly, so that she can be the lighter one there in the friend
Yo,
group.
that's actually quite toxic.
That is so bad. And that's the thing, like, that's another thing that I could say, is that light-skinned people are not helping in terms of this colorism thing, because they're dwelling in the privilege, they're enjoying it, and they're even maximizing it. Because if you're sitting there and saying, I'm pretty because I'm light-skinned, and someone else is dark-skinned and they're less than you, then you're part of the problem. And
Definitely.
you not uplifting someone that is dark-skinned, and you not helping them fight this battle against society, is you basically putting petrol onto the fire. Like, it is not helping at all. And that's the part that we need light-skinned people to do. We need light-skinned people to acknowledge that they're privileged and to use their privilege to help other people.
So another thing that I've noticed as well is representation in media, social media, just all forms of representation on this issue of colorism, is that there was a time where it was just white people, and then now when they started bringing in black people, it's either mixed race black or it's light skinned black. So it's like there's still a whole demographic that you're leaving out of the spectrum, and it's not just for black people. I've seen it with, when you watch like Indian shows, they show us all Indian people that we see on TV are all light skinned, but that's like 2% of the population.
Exactly.
Most of India are quite dark. But it's the whole thing of the closer you are to European, then the prettier you are.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's one of the things. Like, it is so boring. And so even in the media, the people don't want to admit that it's happening. Like, in terms of casting, whenever they want to cast someone new, there's someone new in the acting industry, it's always someone that is light skinned. Always. And they're always saying, oh no, it was because of my talents, I auditioned. Yes, it could be a part of it, but you need to also acknowledge that your complexion has something to do with it.
Yes.
Because if we look at it, like all these new shows that are coming up, it's like all of those people are the same. Like, even down to the way their bodies look, like all of those people are the same. They all literally one person.
See, I think that also goes back to like the whole influencer thing.
Yes.
Most influencers look the same. But then people wonder why they're not getting the representation. But it's like, also think of it, you are the ones who are bringing these people up.
Yes. And
So
you're
also,
the ones that are favoring their content. Because
Exactly.
if you had to bring in a dark-skinned person that doesn't look like the typical influencer, you wouldn't watch their thing. You would watch someone that is light-skinned and is the typical influencer image. So meaning that even society contributes to who makes it and who doesn't.
Yeah, it's all society.
So it's not just producers and directors, and people in society themselves are not supportive of people that don't look like the typical beauty standards that we have. And I think that it is very problematic, and we're not gonna go anywhere if we keep looking at people like that. I've also always wondered, like, why, if you're dark skinned, why would you follow so many light skinned people? Like, why aren't you following dark skinned people that look like you, so that you can get an inspiration of, okay, people with my complexion look better with tattoos like this, or I can have hair like this because look at this girl, she looks just like me, so that means I can do it if she can do it. What is the point of looking at people that are light skinned? Because you're never going to look like them. Even if you do the same hair as them or you dress the same, those colors or that look won't look the same on you because you're not like them.
Example, we're both wearing the same lipstick, but it looks different on us.
It doesn't look the same.
It doesn't look, and it's literally the same lipstick. That shows you that you just have to do things for you. But also, it goes back to another thing of that people have this mentality, and we all do it. We have this mentality of wanting to blame society, but forgetting that we are society.
Exactly. Definitely. Society is us.
Like, we are the ones who set the beauty standards. I mean, look, example is this show Love Island. People complained, so they changed it. So the thing is, why can you complain about that, but then other things you see, if you really complain or you try do something, they will change it to suit you because they are doing things for you. If you're not going to buy it, then they're not going to sell it.
Exactly.
So all of this continues because we're all buying into it. So we need to get to a point where, and we're not saying there's anything wrong with light-skinned people or putting them up, but the thing is, don't put them up and then complain about them or wish you were like them. Look at people who are like you. Like on my Instagram, for instance, I look at people not because, okay, cool, you're pretty, but like, what else is there to you? I don't want to look at you and then all the time I'm upset or I'm sad when I'm scrolling on social media.
About yourself,
exactly, because I'm like, yo, I wish I looked like this. I wish I looked like this. Rather look at other people and be like, yo, actually, you give me confidence to do this. You give me confidence to do that. Yeah, I think it just all goes back to the content we consume and your mindset. So it goes back to, like we said, we've been saying this a lot because it's so important. Just love yourself. And the thing is, learn to love yourself. I remember there was a time where Spesh and I would, I don't even know if you remember this, where we told ourselves, stand in front of the mirror and just be like, yo, I'm beautiful. Even if you don't believe it, just tell yourself. Even if you're lying to yourself. Just be like, I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. And then you'll get to a point where you're like, yo, actually look at me. Look at me. And then you actually start believing it. Because why is it that you can believe the lies that 1,000 people you don't even know tell you? Or just because they're like, you're supposed to look like this. If you don't,
then you're not good enough.
And also another thing is, living to society standard is so difficult because you're constantly going to be changing. 5 years ago, this is what is beautiful now
No, it
is not
wasn't.
what was beautiful 5 years ago. I remember in high school, somebody even came up to me. Remember the story I told you of that guy? He came up to me and he was like, yo, but your lips are so big. Do you go to the garage and pump them up like you go pump up a tire? And I was just like, damn, okay.
People think
That's
that
so
it's okay to say.
insulting.
Yeah.
But then now, people are going to go get lip fillers because it's a new thing that's in.
Exactly.
So always, like, try be yourself.
Stay true
be the
to
best
yourself.
version of you that you can
stay
be.
true to
Because if you try copy society, you're literally going to be changing every 5 minutes.
all the time, and it's not worth it at all, and it's tiring, exhausting.
Yes.
Another thing is that I've also noticed how colorism plays a role in relationships, in terms of the guys that you attract, the guys that you can date, the guys that would want to date you, wouldn't want to date you. And I even, like, this is such a real thing. I even remember at our church, ne? All the guys liked the same type of girls, guys. Like, all the guys went for the same type of girls. And every time there was a new girl and she was light-skinned, they would literally, everyone would want to be there. Everyone would want a piece for themselves. And it was, we could see that, like, we could see it. Even the blind could see it, that, if you want the guys to like you, then you need to look this type of way. You've also noticed it, ne?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So then I think that maybe this is a topic of preference,
Yeah.
and we understand
See,
preference.
the thing is, there's nothing wrong with preference, right? Everybody's got their own preferences. It's completely normal. But the thing is, it's how you react to people who are not your preference, which says a lot about you. Because I could have a preference for tall people. But if somebody's short, if somebody, how do I say this?
If somebody that is short comes to you,
I wouldn't just be like, no, you're not tall, go away.
Yeah,
then
no.
that's like, I'm basically short phobic, or I've got something against short people.
which is
but
not
if they
right.
come and I'm like, you know what, I still want to get to know you as
Yes,
a
I have a
person.
preference for tall people, but
I'm not gonna
I wouldn't.
turn you
Yeah,
away.
it's not a deal breaker for me. And also, my thing with preference is that why are you all preferring the same type of person? Like, why are you all having the same type of preference? Because it means that
It goes back to society.
there's something that is wrong. Like, why do 90% of the guys prefer women that look a specific way? So we're saying that, yes, have your preferences, but we can tell that there's a problem here. There's some brainwashing, society washing thing that has affected your preference, has affected the people that you feel like are attractive or are not attractive.
It goes back to the media that you're consuming. Like the people you follow on Instagram, who, like the people they follow on Instagram, who are they with? Their person probably all looks the same. The movies they watch, or like the soccer players, the basketball players, all those people, who are they with? And they're like, oh, but I really like you, I want to be like you, and it comes with this. So
and I think that even at Church Valley, they were influenced. They were looking at each other and being like, I can't be the only one that has a girl like this. I also have to have a girl that looks like that. They were influencing each other to feel that way.
But it's not like they do it on purpose. It's such a subconscious thing.
I think so
It's
too.
not like somebody came to tell you, yo guys, this is what we must do. Let's congregate.
Yeah.
It's one of those, okay, what do you see? What's going on around you? Okay, cool, then maybe this is what's best.
And I would say that as a light-skinned person, I look for that. Like, I will not accept someone that likes me because I'm light-skinned. I will, and I've said it so many times, like, I will never.
She's turned people away because of that.
Because of that, like, I don't like it. There's more to me than my complexion. Yes, it's great that, not even great, but yes, I have privilege of being liked by a lot of guys because of the way that I look, but I feel like there's more to me than that. And I don't want someone to like me just because I'm light-skinned.
You don't want a superficial relationship.
No, exactly. I don't want that. Like, I don't think it's cute at all. So I listen to the way that a guy speaks, the things that he says, and I'll be able to detect that this one has some colorist things and he's here just for my complexion. So no, I want a guy that doesn't have a specific preference, especially when it comes to complexion. I want a guy that's like, if
He likes you and you happen to be light.
Yes,
Not because
and if
you
there
are
was a
light.
dark-skinned girl that had a great personality, that was cute,
was similar
he
to
would,
you.
he would also go for her also. Like, it's not a thing of, no, actually I prefer her because she's light-skinned. I don't want guys like that, and I check it very quickly, and the minute that I notice it, you're gone, goodbye. I'm just not those people that
Yeah.
are gonna entertain this light-skin thing, because I feel like it's detrimental for me, and no. We definitely acknowledge that society has come really far in terms of having these conversations, representation. Like, there has been change, like there's been a lot of change. I just think that also with the change, there's still small things, Nyana, that we see. Because, like, yes, we're saying now dark-skinned people, because we've got pages for dark-skinned girls, and you know,
the pages are perfectly fine. It's just the people that they put in the forefront. Not even the pages. It's like
Yes.
the supermodels we see and all of
Yes.
that. It's amazing that we've seen so many dark skinned women out there. But then it also, like, sometimes you just see most of them, they have similar features, and which is like closer to Eurocentric features. So it's like there's nothing wrong with it. That's completely fine, but just broaden it up a bit
Yes,
more
yeah.
to everyone.
So it's like, now, okay,
Come with your thick nose and your thick lips and your afro. That's perfectly
we still
fine.
need to see more of the African features. Like, you can be black and have African features and be beautiful. Like, we
Yes.
mustn't have a thing of being a certain percent of black and then have a certain percent of looking non-black. We need to accept full black, like this is
100%
full,
African.
with the hair, with the face, with the body, with the skin color, like everything. We need to accept that.
So even with like the Instagram filters, the Snapchat filters, all of that, it's just something to be mindful of, because most of them are make your lips thicker and your nose smaller. So these are things just to be mindful of. You don't have to like stop using them.
Yeah, because we enjoy using them, but
Yeah, we all
don't
do.
let them define you. Don't feel like
You're
if
not beautiful
using
without
the
that
filter.
filter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So how we can actually promote African features is to use less of those filters and just just be yourself.
even like
just,
with the makeup,
yeah,
contouring your nose to look smaller. We're not saying you have to stop, but maybe
Yeah.
take it from a place where you're like slightly less, slightly
Yeah,
less,
slightly
until you're
less,
like,
yeah.
okay, even without it, I am still beautiful.
Yeah, because another thing that I did when I started using makeup is that I made sure that I'm content with the way that I am without the makeup on before I can start using makeup, because now I felt like I was going to be at a point of I have to have makeup on in order to be beautiful, and now
You don't wanna
I
be
can't
dependent
let
on it.
I can't let people see me because I don't have my makeup on, so I'm not that pretty. Like, I made sure that I look at myself in the mirror makeup free and be like, girl, you're still beautiful, you're still popping. And then I can use makeup as something that is fun for me, as something to
It should.
boost.
I feel like makeup should enhance your beauty, not
Yes.
make you beautiful or change your beauty.
Exactly. So with makeup, it's like, now I'm doing these contours, I'm doing the gold nose, whatever, but that is just for fun. I even told my friend that I feel even more confident without makeup on than I do with makeup on, because I feel like the real me is beautiful. So everything else is just like a bonus, like I'm doing it.
Cherry on top.
Yeah, like spending money on it because I just want to look my best, but I still think that I'm still my best even without it. So we must be careful of stuff like that. Like, yes, they're fun, but we must also be mindful of the fact that it could change the way that we see ourselves. It could change the way that we see other people. I also think that people should stop saying things like, "Oh, she's only pretty because she's light skinned." Because I think that even dark-skinned people can be pretty because they're dark-skinned. And saying that if you were not light-skinned, you wouldn't have been pretty doesn't make sense, because I am not gonna not be light-skinned. So how are you imagining me being something that I'm not, and saying that if it wasn't for that, I would be different? I think that I am beautiful not only because of my complexion, but my complexion also plays a role in it. I'm beautiful because I have light skin, I have cute ears, I have a cute body. Like, there's so much to me that makes me pretty besides my complexion. So even with dark
I
skin
feel like
people,
your complexion should just add on to who you are.
Yeah.
It just adds on to who you are.
it shouldn't be like it's because of this that you're pretty. So even with them, like dark skinned people, you can be like, this person is beautiful because they are dark skinned, because that's part of who they are.
I think in conclusion, what I'd just like to say is the biggest thing here is just self-love. Loving yourself is so important, because then you won't project your insecurities onto others. And sometimes you're not even doing it consciously. It's just a subconscious thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Also, like, watch the social medias and
Like you
maybe
went
have
on
like
a social
I went
media
on a social media
cleanse.
cleanse where I literally, the people that I follow on social media that made me feel like, I wish I was like this. Can't I have this? Why can't I look like you? I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna unfollow you until I get to a place where
we're cool. Like there's nothing wrong with you. It's
as
just
a
not
person.
for me.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with me,
Yeah.
and I need to heal and just work on myself. Get to a place where I can fully love myself and be like, you know what? Even if you look like this, I don't mind.
Yes,
I'm
like
still
you're pretty and I'm pretty
pretty
also.
It's not like you're pretty and I'm ugly because I don't look like you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So just get to a place of self-love where you know 100%, even if somebody looks like this, they're not making you less beautiful.
Yeah.
You're not making them less beautiful. You're all beautiful together.
Exactly. Yeah. So just surrounding yourself with people that look like you so that you can get encouraged, you can get, ideas of how to love yourself even more. Yes, you can follow other people that are different from you, but you must mostly
Think of yourself.
Yeah,
like what's gonna help
what are
you
you getting? What are you getting from that person?
Even if they don't look like you, just surround yourself with people that encourage you, because you can have people that look completely different to you,
but
as
they
long as
make
they
you feel
encourage
beautiful.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us. We're opposites. We're literally opposites.
Yeah, but we
encourage each other.
Yeah,
So that's
we're
what you
just
have
like,
to do.
girl, with all that melanin, like we even forget that we're different, but we're always feeding each other. Like I'm feeding you, and I'm constantly sharing things of people that look like you, and I'm like, look at this girl, she did this, you should do it too, and she does the same for me. So it's like we're always just building each other. So even if the people are not the same as you, but they must build you. Yeah, they must build you, and they must encourage you, and they must be beneficial for you. So I think that it is healthy to have like mixed group of people, because you never know what you could be learning from someone. But as long as it's healthy,
as long as they're not tearing you down, like even with influencers, you should follow people that in the way they interact with people, they're building people up. They're not those people who are like, this person doesn't have this, so I'm better than them. They must just be those people who build other people up. No matter who you are, no matter what you look like, they just build people up.
Yeah, but in general, we must just keep having these conversations and keep doing the little things to fight against this whole colorism thing, in the way that we speak, in the things that we do, in the in how we respond in society. We must always be aware and make sure that we're not contributing to the problem, and check ourselves. Like, guys, this preference thing, like I feel like we need to check ourselves in terms of our preference. Where does your preference come from?
And why do you like?
Yes,
because the thing is, I've seen with some people as well, I know we're supposed to conclude, but I've seen with some people, they have a preference, right, of like looks and personality.
Yes.
And some people, you have to because we all have look preferences and personality preferences. You have to look what's more important to you. Is it the looks or is it the personality?
So yeah, I would just say, guys, let's just continue talking about it. Let's continue building each other. Let's continue loving ourselves, loving other people for the way that they are, and just be true to ourselves in general.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming, Babette.
Thank you for having me as your first guest.
This was fun. Like, it was really fun. I think that it was easy because, like we said, we always talk about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, guys, more of these.
Oh, definitely.
I feel like we should even do one for preference alone, because
we've got so much
is
to
a lot.
say
Like,
on
preference is a lot.
Yes.
But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.